Hey guys, it's Chris again, the real CMAC. Thanks for joining me for another review. Uh, Today we're going to take a look at a couple of the accessories that came with the new iTaste kits that I did a quick look at, review not too long ago. If you want to check that out, I'll put the link down in my summary. I'll also put the link to the original iTaste review down in the summary. So what we're going to look at today is the dual coil cartomizers and the new, I'm going to call them a V3 Tidy 10 Clearomizers that come in certain kits for the iTaste. And these are in, well, the Clearomizers came in a kit that still had the magnetic adapters, and the cartomizers came in a kit with the new fixed 510 connection. And by fixed, I'm meaning it doesn't have the magnetic connectors. I'm not really sure how to, maybe I'd call it a native connection. So let's start out with the cartomizer. So this is the cartomizer kit that I got from Innokin. You can see there we have X'd off is the XL dual coil cartomizers. It is a 510 connection. Now, they also have the 808D on here, so I'm not sure if there's going to be a native 808D connection iTaste as well. It is a possibility, but this is a 510 one, and the 510 is the only one I've heard about so far. Black battery in here, so let's open this up. I kind of did a quick preview of this. We got our cartomizers over here, our USB charger and cord right there, and there of course is the iTaste with the fixed 510 connection. So let's get into the cartomizers here. You know what I'm going to do first though? My iTaste battery is actually low, so we're going to take the express kit. I'm going to take the charger out of there. We're going to plug in and vape. So not necessarily, this isn't a true pass-through as in it's just a hardwired atomizer, but you can vape while you're charging. So we're going to plug that guy in, and it is charging now, but I can still vape on it. So here's your 5 cartomizers that came with this kit. Now these are dual coil cartomizers. My focus took a while to get back there. You're going to come individually wrapped, and when you open them up, you're going to have that. Okay, so this is a very big cartomizer. Of course, I didn't bring a normal one to show you a regular kind of Bogue carto or anything. But trust me, these are bigger than the double XL Bogues. Got your little white rubber tip, which I always pop off and put a drip tip on. Okay, looks pretty much the same as a normal cartomizer, except that it is very large. So I already have one out and filled up. Right here, got little snaky drip tip on there. So let's we're gonna put that right into the 510 connection. Dual coil cartomizer. See what the recommended voltage is here. It's recommending 3.3 to 3.7. Now that's pretty low voltage. The reason being, I ohmed these cartomizers out. I checked the ohms on a few devices actually, and these come out at 1.3 ohms. That is really low. Most dual coil cartomizers are at 1.5 ohms, so these are actually at 1.3. Let's take a vape and then I'll talk about that. I have this set at 3.8 volts, which is out of recommended range, but let's knock that down to 3.5. Alright, I got some 70-30 watermelon in here. So, 1.3 ohms. What does that mean? Well, it means that it's drawing a lot of power. Uh, it's going to, I would say, significantly lower your battery life on the iTaste. As far as charge, it will lower your charge time, not time, usage time, I should say, because it is drawing that much more power. Um, the vape, the throat hit is good. The vapor I found is okay. When I first started using this cartomizer, it was really tough to get a good amount of vapor out of it. It seemed to actually just take a bit before it would start to, sorry, my dog is attacking everything. Before it would start to really kick out some vapor, but it seems to have improved. Because it's doing pretty good right now. Now if I can get this top off, and I can't, I'll take this one. Maybe you can see inside. Get my face out of the way there. Alright, so you can see the hole in here is quite large, the tube. Sorry, that's not focusing very well, I realize that, but get my fingers in there. No? No? Okay. Anyways, you got your filling in there. The stickers that are on here stick up quite a bit, so I kind of had to, wiggle my drip tip around to get it to sit in there right. The amount of filler seems to vary a bit between each cartomizer. I opened up 3 of them, and it was all, a little more, a little less, a little more. Not a lot of consistency there. The main thing I want to point out for me, and it's important to me, is the vape is really hot, and it's because it's so the ohms are so low. Even at 3.3 volts, I get a really warm vape out of this. Some people might like that. I personally do not. I don't like really warm vapes. I don't mind a little bit of warmth, but even down at 3.3, it is quite warm. If I put this up, the highest recommended setting 3.7. Personally for me, it's a bit too warm. Regardless, I got about probably close to 50 drops of liquid in here. It depends what kind of bottle you're using, but holds a lot of liquid. Throat hit is good. The flavor is good for, it's pretty much typical of a cartomizer flavor. And like I said, the vapor is, for me it took a bit to actually break in and start to emitting a decent amount of vapor. I don't know why. I'm not quite sure why they went with dual coil cartomizers, and I'm not quite sure why they went so low at 1.3 ohms, as it's just going to lessen your battery life. Maybe they're just aiming at people that want a really warm vape. Not sure. Not my favorite cartomizer in the world. So let's move on to the new Tidy 10 Clearomizer. Now, I have an old one for comparison somewhere. Tidy 10 Clearomizers came in my, they came in my Chameleon kit. This one was a full iTaste with the magnetic adapter and the cap. So let's look at the box. Got your Tidy 10 Clearomizer. Tidy 10 is just their brand name for these. And these, of course, also come individually wrapped. Okay. So also what comes with it, which is really quite cool, in that package you get a little drip tip. Now one of my main complaints about one of my main complaints about the Tidy 10, the V2, which I reviewed, was that, and here is a V2, there was no drip tip. You couldn't put your own drip tip in here, and a lot of condensation built up on the tip, and you're always licking your shirt or what have you. So this actually slides right over the top. And let's introduce the new Tidy 10. Okay, so a couple design changes. You got this metal sleeve down here where you did not have that. Let me get that cap off. Alright, so the old one is here. Here's the new one. Okay, so you can see there's a lot less, this is a lot more liquid could get into the old one. This one, not so much. I'm not sure what's under the sleeve. Obviously, there is, this is a bottom coil cartomizer or clearomizer. So there's two wicks down here on either side. I would assume there's two. But that is the two compared. So let's just look at the new one and this drip tip that came with it. Okay, so it's really cool. You just keep the rubber piece on top. Okay, the rubber piece, and you just slide that right over, and you got a nice little drip tip. So no more you know, licking your shirt or cleaning that off every 5 minutes. You know, you got that. You only have the one drip tip, so you don't want to lose it. Let's get to filling this thing. Pretty much the same procedure as the other Tidy 10 that I reviewed. You just take your plastic cap off. This one does have liquid in it. I personally just kind of aim right between the metal post and the plastic and drip in there. Once you've done that, I just put this on just enough, and it's kind of they got some ridges on the plastic or on the rubber tip now. Can I get that? And it does taper slightly. Okay, you see that? Well, we saw it for a second. Alright, there you go. So it's got a taper. The other one does not have that. It's just kind of straight. So when I'm done filling, I'm just going to put that on just a bit, just so liquid's not going to spill out. I'm going to tip it, okay, upside down, and then I'm going to push that up. Alright, I find this is the best way to fill and put the cap back on. That way any air is just, instead of, if you do it this way, you're just going to push liquid down. I have not even tried that. I just automatically tip it, boom. You know, you can hear a little bit of air come out of there. It's all good. I have not had any leaking from these. These old ones, the V2, leaked like sieves out the bottom. Actually, in my review, if you see it, I go to fill it up, and it's just a disaster pretty much. It just starts pouring out the bottom. Not so much with these. Have not had any leaking out of the bottom. So that's a good thing. Let's put the drip tip on here. Let's put this on the iTaste with the 510 connection. Okay. So it slips on there. Actually has a little manufacturing date written on here. It says Tidy 10/08/2012. Okay. Another way of identifying if it's new, I suppose, or that's just on the review model. I'm not sure. So let's take a vape. Let's see what it's recommended at. Okay, 3.3 to 4.1. Believe it doesn't say on the box which ohms these are. I'm pretty sure they're around 2. So I'm just gonna go with 2 for now. I didn't meter them. Let's try it out. All right, now I got that at 3.7 volts, which is pretty daring for these. I got the same watermelon juice in here. Another one of my complaints about the Tidy 10 V2 was a lot of dry hits. I mean, it was pretty bad. You really couldn't go too long without a dry hit. And that was probably due to not enough liquid getting past this metal cylinder, which led down to the wicks. It just wasn't wicking well enough or fast enough. The flavor on these is okay. It's actually pretty good. I noted that on the old V2, the flavor was excellent when it worked well. And I would say the flavor is still really good when it works well. It's actually working pretty well right now. But I did find I had the same problems with these, the same dry hit problems. You know, Innokin, I'm sorry. uh, you know, they claim that it has no, or you know, the dry hits have been fixed, but it isn't. The first one I loaded up, I had a chocolate juice in it, and it was working really well. I was really impressed. Um, but you know, probably about 10 minutes into vaping it, I started getting those dry hits again. And what it is, I think, when you put that cap on, as I just did, it forces liquid down to those wicks, which is why when you initially fill this, you're usually good to go for a few puffs. But after that period, it's still not wicking. It's still not wicking good enough. You're gonna get dry, nasty hits. Uh, you know, and with the same as with the old Tidy 10, you're going to need to, you know, basically take the cap off and put it back on and force liquid down into those wicks. The wicking problem still, although it's fair, it's better than the old ones. I'm not getting as many dry hits, but I still get them, and you know, it's not fun, and you know, you want to get something that you don't have to worry about dry hits. Uh, what else can I say? Well, I'm glad I asked that question to myself, because what I didn't mention was if I kept the Clearo down around 3.3 volts, which is the lowest the iTaste will go, uh, I really avoided the dry hits. It significantly cut down on them. As soon as I moved it up past 3.3 volts, they would start coming back again. So the Tidy 10, somewhat improved. It doesn't, mine personally, this one and the other two I tried don't leak, which is good, but I'm still getting the dry hits after a while of vaping. So that's it. That's all I got. The dual coil Cartomizer from Innokin that came with one of the new 510 fixed connection kits, and the new Tidy 10. I'm going to call it a V3. No leaking, but still not satisfied with the vape. I appreciate you watching, and I'll be back with more reviews soon.